Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's July 15th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the trough spinning out over the Pacific Ocean here, allowing for a couple more warm days before it pushes through here. It could bring a little bit of light precipitation west of the Cascades here. Not looking at any widespread thunderstorms here west of the Cascades or anything. Could kick off some thunderstorms, higher terrain off to the east here over the next few days. We'll take a look at that in some detail coming up here. We'll see how long this trough will cool us down, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast and see what kind of temperatures we can expect to the extended. This is the visible satellite imagery. You can see all the smoke, mainly higher terrain east across British Columbia here, being funneled down east of the Rockies as well. This low pressure continues to dominate some of central and eastern Canada here, bringing that smoke down into the lower 48 as well. You can see the marine layer lapping up against the Washington, Oregon coast. Some nice sun breaks probably going on right now. No clouds to speak of in the interior, just some passing high clouds right there. And now looking at the visitor center here, Paradise Mount Rainier. Check out the nice blue sky. What a day to be out there across some of the higher terrain. Not much in the way of thunderstorm activity here today across Washington or Oregon, maybe up further north into BC. Now taking a look here, if you want to order something off my store, go ahead and click down below and you can see the Moisture Wicking t-shirt is my favorite there. I like the premium hoodie for when things cool down here. And if you have any ideas for designs here, go ahead and put them in the comments below. Anyway, back to the forecast. National Weather Service Spokane. Today's Sunday, Monday. Look at the cool down coming, but you're going to be bringing some windy conditions and some dry relative humidities. Could be having some fire danger here, especially eastern Washington as we go on in towards early next week. We'll take a look at that a little bit more detail here coming up. And this is the National Weather Service Portland. You can see the red flag warning out there for some fire danger. Heads up there. Things are dry across the area. And there's a heat advisory in effect all the way up through Vancouver into southwest Washington here also. This is, again, National Weather Service Portland. Watch those grills, burn areas with restrictions. Don't park in the dry grass there. Sometimes that'll start fires too as well. And don't just throw your cigarette butts out your car window, please. Taking a look at today's high temperatures. Look at Grants Pass in Medford up over 100 degrees. Compare that to the coastline there. Look at Brookings 63, Gold Beach 73. Look at North Bend 74. So big differences. Almost 40 degrees in some examples here. As you can see, Klamath Falls up to 102 as well. And Northern California is starting to roast here also. So yeah, pretty nice heat wave coming through portions of Oregon down there. This is SeaTac yesterday, roasting 87 degrees, nice and warm, 9 degrees above average. No precipitation, probably not going to get any, even with that trough kind of moving through the area here. There's always hope, but not looking great for SeaTac. A little bit better chances Everett up towards southwest BC. Look at that here in some detail here in a moment. And we got a day 2 elevated fire risk here for some of the Columbia Basin down across into northern Oregon here as well. This is a 24-hour 2-meter temperature change. So as we go on in through Sunday, you can see the relative cool down coming Sunday. And then by the time we get into Monday, this trough is going to be pushing across the region. Look at some of these 24-hour temp differences up towards 25-degree, 24-hour change there across some of the area. So you can definitely see Mother Nature's air conditioning blasting through the Pacific Northwest. But then we're going to start to warm things up again here as we go on into midweek coming up here. So summer never far away here across the Pacific Northwest as you start into late July. This is 850 millibar temperatures here, and this is looking at the anomaly. So above average temperatures will off, but watch this trough swing through. And again, with the air conditioning, it's like your car just hit the button there and watch that just kind of take over. But then you can see right at the end of the run here, we start to warm up a little bit again here. So we may go above average again as we head towards the midweek period. This is looking at the European last night's run. This goes out 144 hours. So you can see the ridge now allowing for the warm weather here across a lot of the region. And there's that big low steering a lot of that smoke down into the lower 48 here. Here's that trough swinging through the Pacific Northwest. We try to build another ridge here ever so slightly across Pacific Northwest. Might go above average again, but this trough is kind of going to be pretty close here, and it depends on just the location of this trough, on just how much we're going to cool down versus this ridge's position here. Obviously, if it's further to the west here, we're going to be much warmer here across Pacific Northwest, but also the further you go east, it looks like better chances of warmer than normal temperatures as you go on in through the later portions of next week. This is looking at the European. Let's check our precipitation chances here as this trough swings through. So you'll kind of see it start to bring some precip across western BC, Vancouver Island, some of the higher terrain, best chances there. Some of the higher terrain across the Cascades, North Cascades might get some showers as well, but you see that you didn't see much for SeaTac, just the ever so slightest amount. Maybe we'll get a trace or 100th of an inch, who knows. Cross your fingers there. Then you can see kind of we start to dry out a bit again here across Washington, Oregon as we go through midweek coming up. Now looking at the NAM 3 cam, the high resolution model, let's see what it shows. Start to scroll through here, and you can see the trough kind of trying to swing through here. And again, the higher terrain is going to be favored. Maybe some of the Washington coast will pick up a couple showers in the Olympic Mountains there. Maybe Everett, and it shows a little bit of precip showing up. Maybe Seattle north right through here. Maybe some for Vancouver, BC as well. But no promises, no big heavy amounts here. But anything would be nice to get at this time of year. This is lightning flash density potential. Just kind of showing you that we're not dealing with much of a thunderstorm threat here. Maybe across some of Vancouver Island here as we go through Sunday night, and then maybe again on Monday night here, mainly across the higher terrain of British Columbia and towards Alberta, some of Idaho and Montana here as well. But nothing here for Western Washington, Southwest BC, or Portland. It doesn't look like anyway with this trough coming through according to the European as of right now. We'll take another look at that again tomorrow. Here's looking at the NAM3 cam. You can see the temperatures cooling down by the time you get towards Sunday here, then a little bit more on Monday. Little precipitation showing up here, as you can see. Maybe getting up towards a tenth of an inch if we're lucky there for Everett. Cross your fingers there. The European and the GFS are not so bullish on this, but this is a high resolution model. Hopefully this is picking up on something those global models aren't. This is Seattle Tacoma. Look at this. Maybe 1/100th of an inch. Can we squeeze something out of this little frontal system moving through here? We'll see. And you can see the temperatures today a little bit cooler tomorrow, then even cooling down more as you get towards Monday. Here's Vancouver. Similar thing here. And you can see maybe 1/10 of an inch, and maybe 2/10 of an inch total here coming up here. Again, hopefully that high resolution model is picking up on something there. But if you look at the European, this is yesterday afternoon. So you can see Seattle, maybe just a trace here. There's not much measurable precip here coming up through the end of July, at least according to the European model. This is for Vancouver, though. It does show some of these ensemble members picking up a couple tenths of an inch of rain here. So hopefully that does happen up there. I mean, we'll take it, right? It's our dry time of the year. This is looking at Everett again. You can see that signal there also. This is showing up in the European, so maybe cross your fingers. This is the GFS for Seattle. Actually shows a couple of these runs picking up a little bit of precip, but the vast majority of them don't have much, if any at all. This is looking at Seattle. You can see the trough moving through here, then potential bounce back through mid and later this week, and maybe staying above average through the extended forecast. We'll monitor that day by day. This is Spokane. You can clearly see the cool down coming Monday, Tuesday, then bouncing back as you go through mid and later next week. Portland, something similar there as well. This is GFS for Seattle, and you can clearly see the trough there. Don't get too excited about these totals here. That bar right there is 1/100th of an inch here, so that's barely even measurable precipitation there for Seattle. So who knows? Maybe we'll see a few sprinkles. This is looking at daily 2-meter max temperature in the National Blended Models. This is actually for tomorrow, so it should be a little bit cooler across some of Western Washington and Western Oregon. Then you can see the cool down coming Monday, low to mid 70s showing up there, and then maybe starting to bounce back as we go through later on in through next week, as you can see here. This is looking at 6 to 10 day precipitation probability outlook. Big bullseye here across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. 8 to 14 day, not much of a change there all the way through the end of July, which is already our extreme dry season here across Pacific Northwest. So anyway, and if you missed this also, we do have some severe drought across the North Cascades, all the way out to western Skagit and Whatcom County, even the San Juan Island area there as well. Some moderate drought through the Northwest Washington, down through Southwest Washington also. So yeah, not good that we introduced this drought, mainly across the west slopes of the Cascades. Hopefully we don't start any more fires here. You know how last year it went with that Bolt Creek fire. This is total precipitation in inches from June 15th to July 14th. This is our dry time of the year again across the west coast here. You can see very light precipitation amounts, and this is the anomaly. So we're even below average here for this period. Some places east slopes of the Cascades of Oregon, Washington, where it's not that difficult to skew those numbers, did get some thunderstorm activity there, but much of the Northwest below average for the last 30 days. So yeah, here goes our trough here. We're going to at least cool down for a couple days here. And again, cross your fingers, hope for a little precip west of the Cascades there. And we'll see how we bounce back after that going on into next week. So anyway, if you guys want to buy something, support the channel, go ahead and click down on the store below. You can see it right below the video there. And yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check things out, and I will talk to you guys then.